So welcome everyone. We are excited to have you all today, and we are also excited to be launching the new program called the Link Series. This program is all about bringing the experts from big data and programmatic industries together. This program is also about collectively exploring the new advancements in technology, data science, and analytics that's happening in the industry, and how can we collectively make a difference and build the future. At MiQ, we've always looked at being the programmatic or being the leading programmatic partner of choice and making it better. And for us, if you look at our tech stack, that has always helped us to solve some of the complex challenges, business challenges, in the most innovative ways. And that also means that we have delivered consistent campaign performance that have outperformed consistently. But all of this would not have been possible without our support from Databricks partners. And if you look at how well we have leveraged and implemented Databricks, we are not just looking at managing the large data sets, but also managing and unifying those large data sets in a more privacy-centric solutions. Apart from that, we've also leveraged Databricks to build the industry-leading insights and for us to be the programmatic leading partner. And today, we are excited to be joined by our excellent Databricks team here.
To kickstart, it would be really helpful if you all can introduce yourselves. Jono, maybe we can start with you.
I'm Jono. I'm one of the strategic leads within Databricks UK and our EMEA Velocity business. What that means from us is what we're looking to do here is create really strong partnerships across our ecosystem with our customers to ensure that you're successful. And some of the great work that we've seen so far in this partnership has really led to us around building industry points of view, helping you scale with the solutions that you're driving, but also how we can understand and learn from our customers to really drive our product portfolio. So that's what we really want to understand from a partnership perspective and how that really drives us as an organization as well.
So my name's Downey. So I'm the technical GM for Velocity in EMEA, which basically, as Jono explained, is any of our customers who commercial digital native. Not sure if you can tell from the accent, but I'm originally from Ireland. Ended up living in Scotland randomly, but actually spent, before I joined Databricks 3 years ago, spent about 15 years working in Abu Dhabi. So not too far from here. So got the opportunity to visit India quite a few times. So it's really nice to be back here. Worked for IBM, so I've got a lot of ex-colleagues still not too far from here. So thank you again for the warm welcome and very glad to be here.
I'm Krish. I've been with MiQ for the last 3 years, a little over 3 years. And within MiQ, I lead the technology teams. At this point in time, I want to welcome you all again. And it's awesome to have you here and really appreciate the partnership we had over the last 3 years. So it's been fantastic.
I lead a team of amazing solution architects across Databricks and EMEA who've all come from data engineering and data science backgrounds, but I don't. But I realized when I was thinking about this question that maybe Rupali had given me a little heads up on that she was going to ask me. I realized that throughout my career, which has been quite lengthy, data has always been a part of it. And I remember I worked for a telco in the Middle East, and one of the metrics we always wanted was we needed to know, in the software engineering team, how many Sev1 bugs we'd solved every week or whatever. And with Cognos, it used to take us 24 hours to get those metrics. We had to wait 24 hours, so it was very frustrating. But I think the wow moment for me was I went to a conference in Vegas. It's probably 9 or 10 years ago now. And this amazing lady called Lisa Seacat DeLuca, who's a master inventor at IBM, stood up on the stage, and it was just when we were all starting to really think about Internet of Things and what you could achieve with it. And I was expecting a really technical session about connectivity and MQTT and firmware on devices and all these kind of things. And she actually just stood up and she said, the important thing about data and IoT in this industry is that you use it to make your life better. She said, I'm a mom, I've got 4 young kids. I want to be able to use data to tell me when, there's no milk left in the fridge, or the washing machine is about to break down, or the tires, are going to expire on my car. And it kind of went, for me, that was when it clicked that the powerful things we can achieve with data, the opportunity there is absolutely tremendous. And I'll share one last example if I can. And my father will probably kill me if he ever watches this, but he may not. So where I come from in Ireland, it's a very small remote village. The nearest big hospital is about probably 100 kilometers away. And my dad is in his 80s now, and he's got a pacemaker. So it regulates his heartbeat. And what is absolutely phenomenal is he's got this little device beside his bed that takes data from his pacemaker every night, sends it back to his cardiologist, and they can tell is his pacemaker functioning as it should be or not. And to me, I think that's, there's so many good things we can do with data, and that's really the wow factor for me.
For me, it's similar personal story and connection to it. So for those that haven't met me before, previous to going into full-time employment, I was a professional athlete and rower. That culminated in the Olympic Games and me representing Great Britain at Rio 2016, which was a fantastic experience. What people see when they watch the Olympics on the TV is all this great performance and this celebration of success or the disappointment of failure. What they don't see is then all the work and effort that goes in behind this. And obviously, as an athlete, I got to experience that insight and the breadth of the involvement and team that goes on behind those successes. And the sort of inflection point for me that really brought data to the forefront was in my day-to-day training and how data touched every aspect of that. To sort of give you a little bit of an example and flavour of that was the first thing I'd do when I woke up was take my body weight to monitor hydration levels to ensure that we were eating enough nutrition levels. We'd then go in and do a urine sample and a blood sample to check again how the training was affecting our body signals and everything like that. And throughout the day, the amount of data points as an athlete that you would pick up, we would have sensors on the boat, we would measure the stroke length, we'd measure power output, and was collecting all of this data. And this longitudinal data that you saw over that just really gave me the insight. And as wanting to increase performance, I was seeing that direct correlation back from collecting the insights, collecting the data, changing direction, and then seeing how those performance measures came out of that. So I think for me, it's a personal story, and I think we all have these personal stories and reads of how data is involving us. I think what's really interesting to see now, as we move into this sort of generative AI generation, we're all leaders in this space. Yourselves here, I've heard this week, we've got people who have been here for 6-7 years. You've built careers in this industry. I think the rest of the world is waking up to the power of this, and we'll see more and more of data coming into everyday lives and adoption of that.
Really amazing to hear the personal insights and stuff, and the thought that, or the fact that excellence is about game of inches, right? And how data really comes into play and how you would leverage that across the board, right? Not just in terms of what we do in our industry, but in terms of how this is being leveraged across the board. So coming to my journey, truth be told, I didn't have a clue about programmatic or AdTech when I started or when I was looking out for opportunities. So it was essentially like, when someone reached out to me about this opportunity at MiQ, it really intrigued me to know what the heck is this all about. And the thing is, the rest of the, when you talk about AdTech, FinTech, whatever tech, it's something that you would actually invoke. You are part of that ecosystem because you're voluntarily involving yourself in terms of interacting with those systems and stuff. But if you think about AdTech, that's not really something that's front and center. Pretty much everybody in here and out there are directly involved or most probably indirectly involved in this whole ecosystem. And that part of it was what really intrigued me. And if you think about it, vast majority of the content on the internet is ad funded, right? And that is mainly leveraged through the world of programmatic. So that's the power of the space that we are in. And when you get into the details, right? When you look at the scale or the complexity or the pace of change that is happening in this domain, in this space, that's really what hooked me into this ecosystem. And the journey I've been with MiQ over the last 3 years, and last but not least, definitely all the people that I get to work with, not just within MiQ, but also get to work with amazing partners. Example Databricks, where we get to learn, we get to know more about what's happening out there in the industry, and being able to put them into our ecosystem and make things better. MiQ is synonymous with programmatic. We are the world's leading programmatic partner, and we've been around since the dawn of programmatic, right? So we get to work with thousands of advertisers out there, either directly with them or through these independent agencies or through these big media agencies, right? With an astonishing client retention rate of upwards of 90%. And that, I think, is absolutely possible only because of the foundation on which MiQ is built on. Govindara mentioned is more in terms of us being partner agnostic, being people powered, and also tech enabled. Just to recollect, right, when we say partner agnostic, it's about us being able to work with any DSP, any platform, any inventory, and any publisher. And people powered, because we truly believe that it's the world-class teams, people that we have, who have been able to push the boundaries in terms of helping our clients meet their business outcomes. And all this is possible because of the strong tech ecosystem that we have in place, that we have built. Be it, because essentially this is about bringing all the data that is out there together, be able to derive insights out of it, and be able to action on that data. And that's just what our platforms are built to help empower our folks to be able to go about in terms of delivering those KPIs, those business outcomes that clients really want to. And that's been the true differentiator, that we are the one-stop shop for them to be able to do that.
The first thing I would touch on really is the fact that from a Databricks perspective, our relationship with MediaIQ is seen very much as a partnership. We've been working together for probably, I know we said 2019, it probably goes back a little bit earlier than that. It's very easy to be a technology vendor. It's very different to be a strategic partner. And I think a key element in being a strategic partner is being able to trust each other. So one of the things we've been very vocal about in all the different sessions we've had over the last day and a half and again tomorrow is, to be honest with each other. So I've been asking your teams, tell us, what could we do better? How could we support you more effectively? I think in terms of what we, in terms of how we're actually set up to support MediaIQ, obviously our platform is a key part of that, but I would actually really focus in on the people. So we want to be able to support you with the right resources. We have Vasco in the room, who is an amazing source of knowledge around all things Databricks, but no man is an island. He can't possibly do it all on his own. So we obviously have our solution architects who work directly with you. We have a lot of specialists who can come in and support you on specific niche parts of the platform. So whether that's something to do with Unity Catalog and governance, you want to know more about serverless, you want to know more about LLMs, we can support you with that. Another key part of our partnership and how we can, how we're well enabled to support you, I think, is by giving you direct access to our product team, making sure that you're part of our product advisory board. Because I would say, MediaIQ, you're one of our customers, you push our platform to the limits, and I've seen this in all the meetings we've had. You want it to do more and more, you want it to be faster, you want it to be more efficient, you want it to be cheaper, you want it to be lots of things, but let's make sure that message is going back to our product team, and the product advisory board is a way for you to share, what you want to see from the platform. And then I would say, the kind of two final points here are, I think sharing with each other, or you sharing with us maybe what your strategic objectives are, so we can make sure that whatever we're doing technically or with resources, we're driving you to help you achieve those business and strategic objectives. And then again, on the people, I think making sure that we provide you with the right enablement, the right training, and the right support, because a platform will only ever be as good as its users, and that's dependent on them having the right skills.
It starts with understanding why this industry is so complex in itself, and you've touched on it there in terms of the volume of data that has been processed, the data challenge that is presented to yourselves as an organisation to get right, and then that wide ecosystem of partners that you're working with, the data providers, the DSPs, and all of the other integrations, and that's not to mention then your customers and their ever-changing demands. And I think it's not to also ignore this space is highly competitive. And so the margins are always very fine, and you've got to get that right balance between how you use your data and can take advantage of every advancement that there is out there within the data ecosystem, but also being cost conscious and aware of those sort of profitability margins that you've got to reach. And so how we're really working together and doing that is we have industry experts and verticals set up to support our customers here. We provide industry points of view and connect and insight into what is going on within the industry, from both the advertisers and their requirements through to the DSPs and the programmatic businesses in the middle. And so we cover that breadth of the industry as well. And what we do on all of those levels is listen to our customers and help them guide our product direction and involvement. And again, that's what we've been speaking with the teams this week around. You are at the coalface. You are working these challenges day to day, and we want to ensure that our platform scales to meet those demands. And so we really value those conversations, and to Mary's point, those open challenges of bring us your challenges, and then we can work to, as a data organization, solve those challenges with a platform and allow you to work on delivering solutions for your customers. And I think where we get that balance really right is, Databricks has no ambition to be a programmatic advertiser, but we have the ambition to be the data and AI company. And so that overlap is really, really important in here, and that differentiation. And so we're looking and listening all the time of what are your requirements and how can we actually provide partnerships to solve industry challenges as well. And so there's been an ask this week of share some of those insights, and maybe we can go and build some solutions together. And that's hopefully what we can do. And the next phase of the partnership is be more vocal in this industry of what we're doing together to solve those challenges. So that promotes Media IQ as the sort of as the programmatic solution provider, and it helps Databricks be on our mission to show how we're solving the world's toughest problems.
When you look at the partner agnosticity right, that I touched upon, it's essentially about us being able to work with any DSP, any publisher, any exchange and stuff. And while doing that, be able to meet any KPIs, be able to operate across any channel and stuff. So that means that we need to be able to have that ecosystem in place to be able to bring all that data together, to be able to, again, repeating myself in terms of being able to derive those insights and action on that and stuff. And that really needs a strong backbone, a big data ecosystem in place for us to be able to do that. So, and that's the differentiator, right? When you talk about our role within this space, and how really we're able to leverage Databricks, because it's not just a day-to-day thing in terms of how we leverage, but it's also about how we put ourselves for the long run, how we are able to learn from the industry expertise that you have gathered. What is the best way to leverage the platform? And you mentioned about being able to, in terms of how we leverage the platform, and how, because it is about doing more with less.
Yeah.
and how do we really push the boundaries of these platforms, right? So that's where we do work through on a whole lot of different initiatives with Databricks. A recent example being reporting solution needing having tight SLAs, and us not being able to deliver that using the traditional approach that we were using or going with. And that's when we partnered and worked with the architects or engineers in Databricks to come up with a serverless solution, which really helped us meet those tight SLAs and also adhere to all the adoption metrics that we had. So we are now in a place where we are able to do that. So it's just one small example, but then there is lots of other initiatives that we are working on, which is going to help us from a future-proofing side of things, and also be able to solve for all the different complexities that comes with us dealing with data, that is really fragmented, that is really available across multiple different ecosystems. And we already touched upon this in terms of this being privacy-centric, the privacy-first approach. How do we really do that? That's where all the good collaboration happens.